We are getting ready for race 12C at the DF95 Global Championship. I'm Chuck LeMahieu. The C fleet is one of 3 fleets in the heat management system that we're using today. About 17 boats per race. The boats are queuing up for the start. We'll be providing live aerial coverage today as well, so we hope you enjoy our coverage. Looks like we got about 20 seconds to the start. A couple boats have switched to A-rig, notably Jonas Sampson in Sweden 60, who dropped down this race. You can see them getting ready for the start. Looks to be about 10 to 15 seconds before the start. Winds are out of the northeast today, about 8 to 10 knots, with gusts above that. And it looks like the start gun is up. Boats are crossing. We got a fantastic venue here at Bass Pro Shops. Boats head up on, most of the boats are heading up on starboard tack. Looks like somebody there is ducking underneath to head out to try to get clear air. Jonas Sampson taking it way into the dock. Can be dangerous there because you can tack away, but you still have to give room to the right-of-way boats. So he may be forced to tack back, and he is forced to tack back. You can see our windward marks coming into the picture there. The one on the left is the actual windward mark. The one on the right is the offset. Boats are required to round to port. Looks like the inside's a little favored right now. The boats in the port tack are getting a nice angle, getting powered up through the waves. Looks like Jonas is doing okay in the A-rig, so we'll see how that progresses as the day goes along. Our forecast is for increasing winds. As Sparky gets our drone shot nice and low. First boat around the windward mark is Tony Gonzalez, 51. Followed by Greg Gust from Rush Creek Yacht Club in 281. Jonas made nice ground up, even though he had to take a couple extra tacks there in the A-rig. But there's a whole group of boats, including Ray Sita, rounding along with him. Martin Gray. There's Paul Martin from Australia, 267. Bob Lewis in Canada, 27. Looks like some boats there had an incident at the windward mark. Can be tricky. Here is Steve Washburn and Jim LaRoche. Looks like they got a little tangled up there. Looks like Dennis Rogers in USA 43 there had an incident. There's Mark Ralph, Wilson Chung in 102, Don Moore and 35. Dennis having to re-round after missing the mark. Looks like he's there with Warren Scott from Canada. Our shot takes off down the course. Looks like boats have already rounding down there at the leeward gate. We are using a windward leeward today, twice around and then finish. Looks like Greg Gust is taking the way outside, followed by Jonas Sampson. Some boats there up at the top of the screen. There's Martin Gray. Be interesting to see if the outside pays off a little more. Looks like they had a nice angle to the inside earlier. With this unique drone shot, it is kind of hard to tell the speed of the boats. Trust me when I tell you they're going a lot faster than they look on the screen. Looks like Tony Gonzalez there in the middle, though, is maintaining a pretty good lead. Greg Gust in 281's tacking back underneath. Tony's moving to cover. Jonas Sampson looked like he's still taking it to the outside. As we move up to the second windward beat, we'll see how the boats are doing and what kind of progress they're making. Be interesting to see. It's interesting to see the tactics that are taking place. Our winds are scheduled to pick up later today, so we're hoping to bring you lots of great action and have some great racing. Winds have been pretty fluky the first couple days of the championship, but looks like you can look down the course. You can see that it's square, and the committee's doing a fantastic job of setting a nice square line and a nice square course, which is something we always like in sailing, any sailing, not just radio sailing. So we get ready to take a look at how this is progressing. Looks like Tony's still held on to his lead, tacks through nicely, coming in on starboard to the windward mark for the second rounding. Looks like Greg Gust is right on his heels. It is promotion relegation, so the first 4 boats in this heat will promote to B. So they won't take a score. So really, it doesn't matter if you finish first or fourth, just that you finish in the top 4 and promote. So Tony Gonzalez followed by Greg Gust, Jonas Sampson still hanging on an A rig. Sweden 60. Here and battle for the 4th spot between Martin Gray, Ray Sita, and Paul Martin. Martin Gray rounding there. Looks like he may have clipped the mark with his sail when he went around it. Now he has to take a penalty turn. So Ray Sita is going to get the advantage there. Looks like Bob Lewis and Paul Martin are battling there. As we move down, Ray Sita trying to sew up the 4th spot for promotion ahead of Martin Gray. Looks like we still have Jonas Sampson, Greg Gust, and Tony Gonzalez leading the way down the last downwind run. Tony rounds the leeward mark and heads up on starboard for the final run to the finish. Greg Gust splits off to the outside. Jonas takes it to the outside as well. It's a good move. If you sail back up through the fleet, sometimes in these conditions you can catch sails and foul a boat inadvertently. If you're the top 4 boats, you just want to finish cleanly. And we got a heck of a battle here to try to see the final 4th promotion spot between Ray Sita and Martin Gray. They're both going to choose another mark and split off. It'll be a good tactical race to see who is actually able to finish between those 2 boats. You can tell that black boat's powered up a little more in A rig than 51 is in B rig, but Tony's raced a nice clean race. Looks like he's going to cross the line first in race 12C. So we go to our finish line cam. Obviously it's not square to the line, but we can get a nice shot of the finish. Looks like Greg Gust and Jonas Sampson are going to cross together for 2nd and 3rd. Be interesting to see what the battle is here for 4th to see who promotes. Since we're not on the line, we're going to have to trust our judges to make the right call. But looks like Martin's made some nice progress there. Not sure what happened to Ray, AMY president, in 188. But Martin Gray in 183, Ireland 183, looks like he's going to cross the line in 4th and promote up, followed by Ray Sita. Paul Martin in 267. Sprint to the line here between Bob Lewis and Mark Ralph from the Rush Creek Yacht Club right here on Lake Ray Hubbard. But it looks like Bob's going to get in ahead of him. We have Jim LaRoche from Great Britain, Alan Griffith from Australia, John Martin from Canada, Dennis Rogers, who got hung up there at that first windward mark. The great Wilson Cheung in Canada 102. Great race there as we get ready for race 12 Bravo. We'll get you the scores and move on to the next race.